from the Blessing in Disguise release that is Badlands from Metal Church. And kicking off the show tonight, we heard something that kind of appropriate for this time of year. We heard some Bonham with Change of Season. And it is a change of season, and a guy coming to the mic, I know he dreads this time of year just as much as I do. It's my good friend Chris Aiken. What's going on, Chris?
You ain't lying, dude. As much as I hate the heat, I hate the fucking cough that I get every year at this point in the year. So I don't have it yet, but I know it's coming, and I'm just fucking dreading it.
Every year you can look forward to having a bad cough.
Dude, and even it's funny because if you listen to the archives, you can just hear me hacking away, and you can just know that that's between fucking October and December.
Right, of course.
Every single year it's the same shit. Well,
I think the thing that bothers me about this time of year is the change in position of the sun.
Okay.
I can tell that the winter's coming on because I get home, about 5:30 in the evening, and already the position of the sun is already heading down.
Right.
You know, and that's just depressing.
It is. It definitely is, because you're locked away when it's nice outside, and then by the time you get out of your car, you're like, fuck, it's already fucking night again.
Yeah, it's already getting to be nighttime. So
then you sit in your house and you watch depressing Netflix and wonder what the fuck happened to your life.
Yeah, I know. And believe me, that depression is already setting in for me. And I do everything every year, like you with your cough.
Yeah.
I do everything in my power to think of things to stave off that depression.
Why don't you go somewhere?
Well, I'm going to go. I'm going to go in a couple of weeks. I'm going to go to L.A.
Yeah.
So I try to break it up and do something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, between leaving the house at 7 o'clock in the morning and getting home at 5:30, I mean, I'm gone 10 and a half hours a day.
Yeah.
And then, there's not a whole lot left to do except come home, get a few things done, get some sleep, and go back to doing it again.
Did you get yourself a treadmill or an exercise machine or something? Because you seem like you were enjoying running.
I was. And I should get back. And, you fall out of habit. It's just like you with your yoga and stuff. I know that you were really hot on it for a long time, and then you kind of gave up on it a little bit because of, whether it was like your foot hurting you or whatever it was.
It was my foot.
Yeah, you get out of habit, and then you got to force yourself to do it again. And
dude, let me just tell you, as a big fat pile of shit that's trying to fucking get that under control, I am so sick of saying, okay, I made it through day one. I do it 100 fucking times a year. I did it today. Today I ate right. I did my yoga. I did everything I'm supposed to do today. I ate two healthy choice meals that are like little, small, perfect meals.
Right.
And an apple. That's what I ate for food today. And I'm not hungry. I'm good. And I did my yoga this morning, and I'm like, fuck yeah, man. Day one. I'm back. By tomorrow, I'll be fucking running over to Dunkin' Donuts saying, yeah, give me a maple cream and a jelly. And, just fucking my life up again.
Yeah, see, that's never been a problem for me because I've just never been big on the sweets. So
I never have either.
So falling off the wagon per se has never been like a big issue for me as far as like eating a lot of bad food because I just don't do it, to begin with.
What is your kryptonite food?
Kryptonite food? You mean stuff that I would like to have but I don't?
That's just awful for you, but if it's put in front of you, you can't just push it away.
Definitely pizza.
Yeah, see, and that's me too. I'm not really, like, in a year I might eat 2 candy bars. I'm not a chocolate guy. I don't eat ice cream. I never eat cake. I don't really eat sweets either. Every once in a while I might eat an Oreo, but I don't eat sweets. But put anything with fucking bread in front of me, and it's like, I'm coming out of the concentration camp into a fucking buffet. I am ready to fucking eat all of it if there's bread, French bread or pizza or fucking, just, dude, it's nothing for me to fucking grab like 2 or 3 pieces of bread out of a fucking loaf and just eat it. Don't even put nothing on it. Just eat it.
Right.
I love bread.
Yeah, another one that is such a temptation because they got such a good deal on it is BW3 wings.
Yeah, those are good too.
On Tuesday, they have 2 for $1.
Okay.
So, they're quote unquote, they're small is 9 wings, but on Tuesday you get 18 for the same price as 9.
Yeah, there you go.
So it's like really tempting to hit the BWs every Tuesday, and it's like, I can't do that.
Yeah, just give me 18 of those and make it snappy, miss.
As much as I love it, it's just like, boy, it's a temptation, and it's real easy, and it's like 2 miles from the house, and it's right on the way home, and it's just like, oh man, it's Tuesday wings.
That's where you're better than me, because not only will I stop in there and get the wings, but I'll invite people out and I'll get nachos to go with it. I'll start drinking beers. The next thing I know, I put like 10,000 calories in. And then the next day I'm like, okay, it's day 1 again.
Yeah, I do have that self-control, because it's just, because it hits me initially, and I sit there and think, man, I'd love to have that, and halfway home I'm thinking, man, I should go, and and then by the time I'm getting close, I finally talk myself out of it. It's like, nah, you don't want to do that.
Dude, this is because you're not an aholic. And I think I've said this before on the show. I'm addicted to everything. And food is definitely one of them.
Right.
I definitely, I'm addicted to everything. I have zero self-control. Put a deck of cards in front of me and I'll lose every fucking penny I have because I'll gamble it all away. That's why I don't go to casinos.
Right.
Put shit food in front of me, I will eat until my fucking stomach explodes. I don't give a shit. Alcohol, I mean, you've seen that with alcohol.
Yeah.
You give me unlimited alcohol, I'll drink it until you regret it. That's always been me. I've always been addicted to everything. Even with the alcohol. Me and Kelly drink 2 goddamn fifths every time we get together.
Yeah, that's a lot.
2 fifths.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we just pour the shit down because there's no stopping. She's as addicted as I am. It's really not good, but you do what you do. You got to die sometime, right?
Well, I'm not so worried about, the dying part as it just makes me feel bad if I overindulge, because it either makes me sick or I just like feel lethargic, or I just feel like, blah, and I don't want to feel that way. So I just sort of, psych myself out of it.
Let me tell you what an addiction the food is to me. My as I've gotten older, in like the last 2 years or so, my stomach is straight up not wanting steak anymore. Anytime I eat steak, I get sick. Every time I eat steak, my stomach gets upset and I'm shitting water for a day and a half.
Really, that bad?
It's really bad.
Wow.
And you know what? It hasn't stopped me one time from ordering a steak. I'm just like, fuck it. I'll just be sick. I love steak. And I do. And I just fucking, it fucks me so bad that I end up having to take fucking 14 showers because the acid coming out of my ass burns my asshole. So I just have to it's like eat steak, get in the shower, hose your asshole out.
Wow.
Constantly for like a day.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because my stomach gets all fucked up.
Huh.
But I can tell you now, till the day I die, I'm going to be eating steaks. When they put me in the box, they're going to be like, man, that guy's asshole looks like it's burnt.
It looks like a well-done steak.
It does. It's medium rare.
Well, I love a good steak as well. I love a good filet mignon, but, I literally have not had a steak in a couple of months.
But if it made you sick, you'd never have it again.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, see, I can't do it. I have to eat it. I love it. And if I love it, I'm going to eat it. It's like, whatever, man.
Yeah, I just, it's always this, with me, it's always having this, mental discussion with yourself about things. I think it has to do with some kind of childhood guilt.
Maybe.
I really do, because, I wasn't brought up in a wealthy family, and my mother was one of the biggest ones for guilting you about everything,
right.
about everything you do. And, I carry around, I don't know that I carry it around, but I guilt myself out of things.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do stuff for people all day long. I give away money and help people, and, I'm very generous about a lot of things. But when it comes to myself, I just can't do stuff for myself.
Yeah, I got to say, on that level, I'm sort of like you on that, because I rarely buy myself anything of substance. I thought I bought myself something huge this week because, I had a good week. I made like $6,000 this week. So I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to spend a little bit of money. And I spent a whopping $180 to buy myself a freezer. It's not like I bought anything cool or fun or anything. I bought myself a deep freezer.
Right.
And really, I only bought it because I didn't have enough room in my regular freezer for fucking these goddamn healthy choice meals that I'm trying to eat.
Right. Well, I splurged on myself this week.
What'd you buy?
$44 worth. I bought a new Lucky 13 shirt.
Oh, look at you.
A whole $44.
Wow, look at you just going crazy.
And even that was a struggle. It's like, do I need another one of them shirts? Well, I like the cool design. But you got enough of those shirts. But one that's pretty cool. Now go ahead and get it. That's the mental discussion going through my head.
Dude, I think the difference between me and you, I'm going to call it before or after syndrome. You talk to yourself before. You before you do anything, you're like, I don't know, this or that. I can't do this. I can't do that. Whatever. And you talk yourself out of it. I'm the other way. I just go ahead and do it without even thinking about it. And then the next day I'm like, man, fuck. I really wish I wouldn't have eaten that steak.
Yeah, that's you have buyer's remorse.
I do all the time.
Yeah.
But then when it comes time to do it again, fuck, I'm right in. Dude, fucking doing shots of Fireball or whatever that's called, Jack Fire.
Right.
That shit, that's another one that just fucks up my stomach. And you know what? It doesn't stop me a bit. Doesn't stop me at all. It's like, fuck it. I'm going to have fun. Tomorrow's tomorrow. I might not even wake up from today, so I might as well have fun today.
Isn't it funny what we put ourselves through on a day in, day out basis?
It is, man. It's crazy. But, dude, and I do think that right now, though, for me, I'm hitting that age where I'm starting to spend a little bit of money on myself. Not in big things, like I said, not in stuff. But like I have concert tickets for 6-7 different things right now. And none of them are cheap seats. They're all fucking, the best seats in the house.
No, I'm kind of the same way. If I buy tickets, which literally the only thing that I purchased tickets for recently in the recent past was baseball tickets, and those had to be as good as you could get.
You had to be in the first 5 rows.
Yeah,
you didn't want to be there.
Right.
Yeah. That's like we're going to see Jason Bonham in December, and of course I bought the expensive ones. I bought right up close, and we're getting Bob Seger tickets, and I'll be damned if I'm not going to spend $150 or whatever it is a ticket and get as close as I fucking can. It's like, fuck. Why should I? I'm earning enough money now. Why shouldn't I enjoy it?
Yeah, I get you. Like when I go to L.A. In a few weeks, I'm considering flying first class.
Cool.
It's a 3 hour 55-minute flight. Now I could get a round trip ticket for about $350.
Yeah.
But if I get a first class ticket, it's probably about $800. So I'll pay double, but I'll fly first class. Not because I think I'm some kind of uppity rich fuck. It's just like I don't go on that many vacations, and if I'm going to do this, I'm going to go enjoy it.
Dude, you're 6 fucking foot tall. Why should you be crammed into a seat with some lady and her fucking baby on a lap next to you? Baby's crying and puking on your fucking shoulder. Lady's yelling at the kid to shut up. Why should you endure yourself to that?
Yeah.
Like a fucking fancy man.
Yeah.
No, you earn the money.
Well,
how many hours do you sit in that office fucking taking phone calls from fucking hillbillies to sell them fucking containers?
Right.
You earned that $500, so fuck it, spend it.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing, but I have to get past the guilt thing first. It's like, you really don't need to fly first class. It's only 3 hours and 55 minutes. You can endure that, And then you go, well, you know what? I'd like to kick back and have a few cocktails served to me and maybe have an in-flight meal or something and just kind of relax,
Yeah, of course. and be able to stretch out, maybe take a little nap if you want to.
So, I go through those scenarios, and it's like, why not? You go to LA maybe once, maybe twice a year. Why don't you go ahead and do that?
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah, so I had that discussion today with myself.
Well, there you go. And now, but you still didn't pull the trigger.
I didn't pull the trigger. Tomorrow I will.
Right.
But today I was just doing the, some research, what's available, what times, and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. Meanwhile, last week, or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, Kelly hits me up and says, "Do you know who the Magpie Salute is?" And I couldn't run to my computer fast enough and buy the tickets. No thought. No, what do I got on the calendar? Nothing. It was, all right, fuck, buy it, quick. Don't want to sell out in the next 1 minute before I get to my computer. I have no thoughts like that. I just do when I'm ready to do stuff.
Yeah, you're impulsive.
The Glenn Hughes thing. The Glenn Hughes, I saw Glenn Hughes on Sunday. I think I bought the tickets I just had a wild hair because a Deep Purple song came on my YouTube thing. And I didn't even ask Kelly if she wanted to go. I just bought tickets and figured, well, somebody will go. I didn't know for sure that she was even going to go. I just was like, fuck, somebody will go with me, I'm sure. And I bought them and was like, okay, there you go. No thought. No, well, it's Sunday. What am I going to be doing? Or just, fuck, I'm going. That's it.
Life struggles, man.
I know. Well, dude, like I say, man, you don't know that you're going to wake up tomorrow. So you might as well fucking spend it while you can. And, as I've told my kids, I ain't leaving them any money.
Yeah.
I'll leave businesses, but I am not leaving them any money. I'm very hopeful that somebody has to go in the hole to claim the body. I really don't want to fucking pay for anything. I don't want them to fucking waste their money on a hole in the ground. I don't want them to waste their money. Build a bonfire and throw the body on it for all I care.
Sure.
I'm dead. Just be done with that shit. But while I'm here, I'm going to fucking live as hard as I can for as long as I can, I guess.
Yeah, kind of the Evel Knievel philosophy. I've been rich and I've been poor, and rich is a lot better. I'd rather live rich than die rich.
Yeah, dude, I don't ever want to have... I don't really think I ever want to have a time where I look in the bank and I'm like, oh, look at me. I've got $200,000 in the bank or something. The most I ever had in the bank at one time was $73,000. And I don't know if that's a big number or a small number. I'm assuming it's big because I don't have that now. but that was what I had in the bank. When my life took a turn, we'll say.
Okay.
And I was not happy. I just wasn't happy at all. I had a bunch of coin. I wasn't spending it, and I wasn't at all happy. And now, I don't have near that in the bank, but I have enough to wherever I want to fucking do, I can do. And it's like, fuck, I'm as happy as I've ever been. Just because if I want to go, if now Bandian's friend hooks me up with going to the AVN Awards or something to go and interview people for that Underbelly release.
Sure.
I can do that. I can just plunk down a card and buy a ticket and, like you, sit in first class and drink a nice drink on the way there, or 6, and stumble off the plane and go right into interviewing porn stars. And that'll be awesome.
Of course.
And I love having that ability. I work awful damn hard. I might as well play as fucking hard as I want to.
Right.
I mean, dude, you know how much I work. It's fucking retarded.
I agree.
But if you're going to work hard, you got to play just as hard.
Yeah.
You have to.
Well, at least what you do, you aren't scraping to get by. There's some people who they have a lot of satisfaction in the fact that they're self-employed, but they barely make enough to get by.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not getting rich. I will say that. I'm certainly not getting rich, but I also am not worried that I'm going to be homeless tomorrow either. So, and I do everything my own way. I don't have anybody over my shoulder, and that's fucking good enough for me.
Right. I agree with that. I mean, the way that I live is very peaceful. I would not trade my peace for anything. I wouldn't trade my peace for a piece of ass. Let's just put it that way.
No. I don't blame the stories we could tell, but you don't want to.
Yeah, I know. I just like to live a very peaceful existence.
I know. Just roll through the days and have fun and, just live.
Yeah.
And so far, so good. And I mean, the weird thing is I always live with the thought that it could all end tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I could have to, I could be dead, but more to the point, I could have to go cut my hair and buy a suit and be that guy. I mean, that could happen. The economy changes or whatever. I could easily end up back in a cubicle somewhere. But I swear to God, I'm going to ride this until I can't ride it no more.
Yeah.
I gotta be days away from a sheriff's auction to take my house before I'm going to start thinking of that.
I'm with you. Well, being that, that I have the ability to, basically do whatever I want to do. Today was one of those documentary days for me.
Okay.
I shared one with you today about the Toxic Mall.
Yes, that was good.
I mean, it was just a little independently produced little film thing, but that one was just like, holy shit.
Dude, the minute I go anywhere and I look at the water seeping from the ground and it's bubbling, I'm getting the fuck out of there. I'm not going to sit there and breathe that shit like that guy did. He's like, you want me to light it? I'm like, what are you fucking nuts? Fucking whole goddamn hill might blow up.
There's a shopping complex over in the Cleveland, Ohio area, which of course Chris is in that area, and I lived in that area for years. They apparently built this shopping mall or shopping complex on top of a landfill.
Right.
And as part of trying to stave off some of the effects of the landfill with all the toxicity that's below the ground, such as the methane gas, they had methane gas pipes coming up through the parking lot to exhaust into the air above the buildings.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, in Garfield Heights, Ohio, of all things. And the whole, they pumped $1 billion into building this thing, and it was closed in 3 years.
Yeah, and it had huge stores in it too. It had
Walmart,
Dick's Sporting Goods,
Circuit City.
Because I used to go over there. I mean, when you told me Garfield Heights, I knew exactly where it was.
Right.
It's right there off the Transportation Boulevard exit. And I was like, holy shit, I didn't realize all this was going on. I've been known to stop over there at the fast food places right across the street, on my way home. If I'm, coming home from Cleveland, I'm a little bit buzzed up or something. I'll go over there and grab a Wisconsin buttery from fucking Steak and Shake. Now I won't, now that I know that it's probably poisoned with gas from the air. Like, fuck that.
Yeah. I also watched some old documentaries on the Lyndon Johnson administration. That guy was a piece of shit.
Yeah, he's a total fucking dog.
Yeah.
Dude, this is what I still wonder. Are there people out there that think that all these presidents aren't fucking tagging a bunch of ass when they're in office? They make it sound like it was such a big deal that Johnson was, hitting on secretaries or whatever. Do you think that there's ever been a president that didn't cheat on his wife constantly?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I think they all did.
I think when you're in a position of power, and what's more powerful than the president of the United States?
Nothing.
You're gonna exploit your power, and you're gonna flex that muscle of love, and it's impressive. It's no different than a guy who accumulates a lot of money.
Right, of course.
Because all of a sudden you become attractive to the opposite sex. I would hope anyway. But if you have a proclivity for sucking dick or something, that's your own business.
Sure.
But I know from just personal experience when I was doing well financially and am doing well financially, and of course, with this show and stuff, all of a sudden people find you attractive.
Yeah, of course.
And if I didn't have the self-control or the self-constraint that I do have, I could be out there tagging ass every day if I wanted.
Of course.
But I don't. I don't do it only because of just the concerns of health-related concerns and psycho-related concerns and all the baggage that goes with that. It's just like, ugh, I don't want to invite that.
Don't you think the DT is getting some side ass?
Boy, it's hard to tell.
Because it would be really dangerous for him to do it. But but in my mind, that would not scare him.
No, not at all. I mean, I'm sure that guy has tagged a lot of ass in his life.
Oh, in his life? Yeah, I'm talking about now.
I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know.
I can't imagine that he's satisfied. Even as hot as Melania is, I can't believe that he's satisfied with only one fucking foreign piece of pussy.
Yeah, but
the next 4 to 8 years.
True. That's true. But, boy, with the scrutiny on him every day, boy, it'd be tough to wonder if he could even get away with that.
Yeah, you got to think that some Secret Service agent would sell him out or something.
Of course.
Somebody would. But you just have to think. Somebody got to be smuggling him in a little pussy.
It's hard to say, man. I really don't know.
Something. He's got to be grabbing something, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's grabbing him by the pussy.
Yeah. And and from the look of things, it doesn't look like Melania's looking to give him a whole bunch.
No, well, she's probably pissed off to beat the band, especially with this Stormy Daniels nonsense and,
of course,
everything, heating up and the bad publicity and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, which means that he's got to find some pussy from somewhere else.
That's true, but boy.
Do you think he's just going to say, well, I'm not going to have any pussy for 8 years?
Well, again, with everybody just outgunning for him, boy, that would be a risk.
Wouldn't it be great if it comes out that Trump, so he wouldn't cheat, bought the presidential real doll? Be fucking awesome. Her pussy is bigly.
Right. The real doll.
The real doll, the presidential real doll.
And you think she doesn't have a good pussy? It's good pussy big league. I'll tell you right now.
I'm grabbing it. Her name is Susan B.
Right. Too funny. So that's kind of what I was doing. I did watch the Trump rally in Missouri last night, and I did watch some documentaries. Sure. And I watched the Nixon documentary today.
Yeah, I watched that. The 3-hour one?
No, I didn't watch that one. I watched a 2-parter. It was like 48 minutes each part.
Yeah.
I think it's called The Nixon Legacy or something like that. I didn't watch the long one, though. But, right. It just basically, they got into talking to a lot of people like George Shultz and, all these people who worked in the White House.
Right.
And talked about how the Nixon campaign of 68 sabotaged the peace talks in Paris for the Vietnam War.
Right.
Just so he could get elected, because he felt that if Hubert Humphrey or the Lyndon Johnson administration were ever to bring the North and South Vietnamese to the table, that the Democrats would win again for the presidency.
Sure.
And so he launched a covert operation with this liaison to pass messages to the South Vietnamese president not to go to Paris.
Right. That was all like Kissinger's deal, wasn't it?
No, Kissinger wasn't involved at that point.
Okay.
This was This was before the election in 68. Kissinger wasn't involved until like 71, I think.
Okay.
So so he sabotaged the peace talks in order not to give the Democrats a good face where it came to the Vietnam War.
Well, imagine that, another politician that's a piece of shit.
They're all a piece of shit.
Every single one of them is a piece of shit. Dude, I honestly believe there's not a president or person that has served in the Senate, Congress on up that should not be in jail in our lifetime.
Yeah, well, you're probably right about that. Everyone's got some kind of secret deal going on.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And it all boils down to two things.
Power.
Money and power.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So they'll sell their souls for money and power.
That's right.
Which is one of the reasons I know why that's why everybody's gunning for Trump, is because he doesn't play their game.
Right. He doesn't need either.
No.
He has power, he has money. He doesn't need either.
Yep. So he doesn't capitulate to what they want. It's just like, man, this guy is ruining our card game here. We got to get him out.
Yeah. Well, how's that going?
Yeah, it's not going so well, is it?
No, not really.
Not so far.
Yeah, well, I stayed up all night last night. I went to bed at 7:00 this morning. But because you turned me on to those two the Johnson one.
Right.
And I watched that at like midnight, and then I rolled right into that 3-hour Nixon one. And I watched that, and then I still couldn't fucking sleep. So then I started writing on my Judas Priest book, and I wrote until about 7:00 this morning, and then I finally went to bed. And then I don't know, what time did you call me? Because that's about when I woke up.
Well, you called me, actually.
Or whoever called whoever.
Yeah, that was like around 1.
Okay, so that's the sleep I've had.
That was like 2 your time.
Yeah, so that ain't too bad.
Nope.
7 to 2, that's good.
Sure.
That's sleep.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not on a regular schedule, but whatever. I'll drink coffee tonight. I'll be fine.
Yeah, you're an up all night, sleep all day guy.
That's right, me and Slaughter.
Exactly. So, you went out to Glenn Hughes this week or earlier in the week?
It was on Sunday. Yeah. What a show. Holy mother of fuck was that show. Unbelievable, dude. That guy's voice is ridiculous. I can't even describe it, how good it was. Just watching him sing and hearing him hit those notes and watching it right in front of you so that you can pretty much tell that it's not enhanced or backing tracks or anything. I mean, just fucking ridiculous how well he hits those notes. And it was a great show, dude. I'm 2 for 2 in the last month of shows that I went to, and they were 2 hours long, and they seemed like they took 5 minutes. The Hughes show, and I'll tell you what, we did that one right too. We again, second time, we timed it out perfect. We got there, we ran into Jackal in the front, but it was like 10 minutes before showtime, and got my tickets, because my tickets were will called, walked in, sat down, got a drink, lights down. I was like, fuck yeah. Perfect. And Hughes played for 2 hours, 2 straight hours. I could have done a little bit. The only criticism, and this is a very slight criticism, is that he did do solos for the guitars and the drums and the organ and all that, which I get. He was going for the 70s vibe and everything.
Yeah, he was doing a whole jam.
Yeah, but this wasn't Richie Blackmore and, John Lord, for God's sakes. This was some guys. So we don't, do you really want to see a solo from some guy? Do you want to see that guitar solo of Richie Blackmore's work from some guy?
Right.
I don't think so. So, and the organ from other guy whose name I still don't know.
Right.
Or drum solo from the guy with the beard, because again, we didn't know his name either.
Sure.
Was it a great show? Fuck yeah. Did the solos slow it down a little bit? Not really. I mean, it was that whole hippie jam thing that Hughes was going for, but he was fucking amazing, man. I mean, really amazing. I would go see that show again in a second.
Yeah. Well, I see that he's recaptured his look of the 70s. I see he's grown his hair all out again, and looking like 1974 Deep Purple.
Yeah, dude, that guy is so goddamn skinny.
Yeah, he is.
Talk about a guy that needs to eat a sandwich. Jesus Christ. Dude, he's skinnier than the neck of his base.
Yeah.
I mean, I would bet you seriously, he does not weigh 140 pounds. He is bone skinny.
Yeah.
But he brought it. He really brought it, and that voice is just retarded how good it is.
Yeah. Well, good for you, man. I'm glad to see that you went out and were happy with a show that you got to see a couple good shows that you've been raving about.
Yeah, the Magpie Salute was great. This one was great. I think next week I'm going to see the Babies. That'll be good. I got Miles Kennedy coming up. I got Enough's Enough and Bullet Boys coming up. I got Bob Seger coming up. I got what's the day before? Jason Bonham coming up. I got Hailstorm coming up. I'm going to a bunch of shows, man.
You are a concert going fool.
You know what? I sat around for for a full year without leaving when my kid was fighting the cancer. And then I just, I had to work so hard to make up for almost a year that I sort of took off.
Right.
Work-wise. So I had to make up for that for this last year. So, I was like, well, fuck it. Now I'm caught up with everything, and now it's time to, do some of the stuff I want to do. It's time to finish some books. It's time to put them out. It's time to go to shows. It's time to go back to having some fun.
Yeah. Well, Chris Aiken is back, man.
Yeah. Or at least one more stab at, running around. And I really don't have the juice like I used to have, though. Because, I was going to go and see Life of Agony on Tuesday.
Oh, are they still going around with Nina?
Yeah, with Mina
Caputo.
And I was going to go, but then I was like, they don't have any chairs there. I'm not going to stand on fucking asphalt for 4 fucking hours.
So what is the story with Life of Agony? I mean, now that he is quote unquote identifies as a woman or whatever the fuck, is he able to sing like Life of Agony, or?
He sounds more like that third album that they did, Soul Searching Sun.
Okay.
Where all the depth in his voice was gone. He's got a higher register, but I mean, it's not that whole, if you do what you do, I do. He's not doing that anymore. He just sounds like regular high-voiced dude singing.
And you still want to go?
I still would go. I love Life of Agony, man. One of my favorites of all time.
River Runs Red, man.
Loved River Runs Red. Loved Ugly. Loved Soul Searching Sun. Didn't even hate Broken Valley. That's a good album, too. I like those. I like that band a lot. Dude, one of my funniest things, though, we brought them in to do an acoustic set. Remember when we used to do the Extreme sessions?
Yeah, of course.
Billy's studio. And we brought them in. So they played 2 songs, and then they went to the 10 or 15 people, whatever was there, and we're taking questions or whatever. And then they looked and they were like, okay. And I just yelled out, I was like, okay, why don't you guys play one more song and we'll wrap this up? And they're like, oh, well, we don't have any more songs to play. They only learned 2 songs acoustic, so they didn't have anything else to play.
Oh, nice.
But it was still fun, though. It was a fun show.
Well, of course,
it was fun.
Of course. Yeah, that was back when, you could do those kind of things and it'd actually be kind of a cool hang.
Yeah, those shows were fun, those Extreme sessions.
Yeah.
We did them with a lot of cool bands, too. We did Evergrey, we did Fear Factory, we did Machine Head. Trying to think who else. Beautiful Creatures. We did a bunch, man. We did probably 10, 15 of them. The guy, what's his name? Carey, not Drew Carey. The drummer for Tool. I know you don't know. Something Carey. The drummer from Tool, we had him in with his band, Pygmy Love Circus.
Okay.
We did all kinds of cool shit with that. It was fun. And then the station got involved in it, and they started bringing in like Disturbed and Nickelback and, the shit that they were playing during the week. So that was good times back then, man. It was fun.
That's back when radio stations still had a little bit of, had a little wherewithal to do something cool like that.
Yeah. Now there's not even a rock station in Cleveland.
WMMS is gone.
Well, it's mostly talk. I mean, I guess that's the rock station, but it's mostly talk.
Okay.
They have Rover till 11. That fucking jizzbag. From 6 to 11. Then they have Alan Cox in the afternoon, and then they have I don't know what they have now, but they had Nikki Sixx in the evening.
Oh, 6 cents.
6 cents. So I don't know what they're doing now, but to be honest, I can't tell you the last time other than the sports talk is the only thing that I have programmed in in my car. And I can't tell you the last time I listened to any music playing station in my car. I may not have since I've had my car.
Right.
Do you? I mean,
no, not at all.
I mean, has there ever been a time that you did?
That I listened to the radio?
Yeah, in your car, in your current car.
Oh, in my current car? No.
How about in the last one? You had that?
I would listen to talk radio AM on that, but I listen to it on apps now.
But music. I'm talking only music.
There's no reason to listen to radio for music.
Isn't that sad? It's just sad that that's where we're at now.
Times are a-changing. It's a change of the season.
Yep, it is.
Well, people find us and they listen to us for whatever reason.
Yeah, not sure why, but okay.
But they still do.
Yeah, we'll allow that.
Speaking of that, I got and I shared it with you, but we got a nice little note from Don about, being able to come on the show and just share his quote unquote, his thoughts,
right.
Without being edited or without any kind of filter. And
sure.
And, I shared some of the comments that some of the fans made about his appearance and stuff. And, he was just very complimentary about the fact that you and I will allow him to just come on and speak his mind and say what he thinks about whatever, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of cool when people kind of recognize that this is a forum that really doesn't exist anywhere else.
Yeah, I mean Don's good people. As much as I personally thought we went just a little long with that interview.
Maybe we did, but a lot of people seem to enjoy it though.
A lot did, and it is cool that these icons for us, they were icons. As kids. I mean, dude, I would have. When I the first time I saw Dokken was opening for Twisted Sister in 84, I think it was.
Yeah, I have the concert poster up here for Belkin Productions.
Was it 84 or 85?
It was 84.
That was the first time I saw him. To think at that point I would have killed to shake the guy's hand and go, "Oh, Mr. Dokken, you're great." I would have killed to do that. And now we get him on the phone to talk for an hour and a half about everything. I never could have imagined that in my wildest dreams back when I was a kid that just loved music.
Well, of course.
It's so fucking cool, man.
Yeah, I agree. But he sent us a nice note and was very complimentary and, thanked us for, having his back and allowing him just to come on and ramble.
Yeah. Which that all by itself is funny. Thanking us.
So he let me know that he appreciates the fans who who tune into the show and support our station and everything. So that's cool.
Yep, it was cool. Definitely.
Yep. All right. Well, I think we should take our first break. I thought maybe I'd play something from this Glenn Hughes that you shared with me.
All right.
I'll let you pick it since you're a little more familiar with the content here.
All right, go with Mistreated.
Mistreated, okay. And Chris, this was the actual audio of the show that Chris saw.
Yes, it's from Sunday show.
Kind of taken after what Kiss did a few years ago.
Yeah, not quite as good as what Kiss did. Kiss seemed to throw a better mix than Glenn did on these, but okay, whatever. It was $10. Who cares? It's $10. You walked away with for an extra $10, you walked away with your fucking show.
Yeah.
That's never bad.
Yeah, I like that idea. I like that concept.
I do too. I don't understand why bands aren't doing that, I mean, it wouldn't be shit other than hook an iPad up to the board. Obviously we do it.
Yeah, look at the Summer Bash audio that we got.
Yeah.
And that was just running a line from the main mix on the stage to our board.
Yeah, I don't see why the bands don't do that. They all talk about they can't make any money. I think a lot of people, if it's a good show, would buy the show that they were at. They absolutely would. I know, dude, I didn't hesitate to buy this show. I didn't buy it when I pre-ordered the tickets, but after the show, I came home. I was like, that show fucking ruled. I'm going to buy that. And I came home, and I think it was $11 or something, $10, $11, whatever. So I was like, fuck. Done. I'll take it with me. Thank you.
Excellent. All right. Well, here's Glenn Hughes. This is a show that was recorded at was it the House of Blues?
Yep, the House of Blues.
The House of Blues in Cleveland. And this is called Mistreated, exclusively here
on your Classic Metal Show.
Hi, this is Glenn Hughes, and you're listening to Neeley on the Classic Metal Show.